Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, it's great to meet you. I love what you're doing. There's so much that's a part of the work that you're doing and who you're helping, and it just radiates out. So thank you for taking a minute out.
Yeah, of course. I'm happy to be here with you.
Yeah, me too. So before we get into it, I know
Yeah.
we're getting into COVID fatigue. It's getting to be something that we're tired of talking about it, I think, collectively. But it was such a moment for all of us to be reflective and for change. How did you get through that time period, that 4 year window, and how did it change the way that you live your life now?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So I was talking to one of my daughters about this last night. She's a nurse. And I said, I didn't like COVID, of course, but I liked not getting colds. Like I was home isolated. I was so healthy for two
Yeah,
years. And then, as soon as life came back, we're back on planes and trains and buses and touching everything and getting colds. And
yeah,
uh, that was a fun thing. I loved slowing down for a minute
yeah,
because my personality is like I'm a driver, driver, driver. I set an alarm early. I get up, I look like this at 6 a.m. every day, and my husband's always teasing me, like, where are you going? Like 10 steps away to my home office.
yeah. Uh-huh.
I have things to do. And so it was nice to just like take a breath and, kind of reevaluate. And really what I'm doing now came out of, I'm seeing clients all day, every day on Zoom, and I'm getting a little Zoom fatigue.
Yeah,
And I feel like I have a bigger work to do. Not that I don't love helping individuals, but I really want to make more of a global impact. And how am I going to do that? And so, really kind of pondering that question and every day after all day on Zoom, thinking, is this what I want to do with my days, my years, my decades? Do I
yeah,
want to watch myself get old and wrinkly sitting here on Zoom?
yeah,
Is that my purpose? And my purpose is to help people and help people transform. But well, am I doing it in the best way? And so what I did was I created an app, which I'm so excited about, that literally is like having an interactive session with me.
yeah.
And so now anybody can work with me on demand anytime. And I still love my private clients, but I can help anybody struggling anywhere in the world, whether I'm awake or asleep or working or not. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think that's the interesting thing about that time period is we finally got the chance to be connected, but what you're talking about is a level of connection that's just not going to fill the glass up. There's because the other part of it, the irony of living through COVID was that we realized as connected as we were, there's nothing that's going to outshine being in person and having that human connection. And I even see that especially with music, all of
Yeah.
these musicians were doing gigs online, but there was nothing like actually physically going out and sharing the energy particles and being a part of a room that was collectively taking in an event. That's big. That's why we're here. It's part of being human.
Huge. It's huge. Yeah. After I sit here all day on Zoom, I walk every day. I'm a walking addict. And it's like, oh my gosh, there's this big, beautiful world right outside the door. And it's so nice to get out in nature and also to network and to hug real people,
Yep.
and to have that connection. So yeah, it's interesting. It makes you appreciate things differently. And it's fun to see what changes in life come from struggles. We learn the
Yeah.
most from struggles. Unfortunately, I wish I wish it didn't have to be that way, but
Yeah.
we definitely learned.
And San Diego is beautiful. It's a paradise. I actually was there a few years ago. I was down in Imperial Beach, and I just coming from Kansas City where there's no oceans or mountains or real eye candy landscape. When I
Yeah,
get out in the West, it's just like, wow, I can't believe that humans get to see this every day.
yeah, it
So,
is. It
yeah,
is beach and it's breathtaking. The
yeah,
sunsets, it's so pretty.
yeah.
Absolutely. The palm trees swaying in the 72
Uh-huh.
degrees. It's
Uh-huh.
the best.
It's dreamy. It's a lot of pop songs there. So let's get let's get into your life of being an author and a speaker and a
Yeah.
CEO. I want to get to the essence of what you do every day. I'm going to put you in front of a bunch of third graders. It's career day. And one of the
Yeah.
kids is curious and says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you
Yeah.
answer them?
Yeah. I love that you put it in simple terms because when you do something for so long, you can start like explaining it in more complicated ways.
Yeah,
And I love that simplification. So if I was going to simplify what I do to a third grader, I would tell them that how they're thinking creates how they're feeling.
yeah,
And so if they don't like how they're feeling, they have to change how they're thinking. And we get caught up believing our own story. Whatever we think is true.
yeah,
And actually, it's not necessarily true. It's just our perception based on the lens through which we see the world.
yeah,
And so I teach people something called the 17-second rule, which is that a thought is just an electrical signal in the brain. That's all it is for 17 seconds.
yeah,
But if it goes on for longer than that, it turns into a feeling. And so you have to pay attention to what you're thinking. If you're thinking you don't like somebody or something wasn't fair or you're mad or you're sick or whatever the thought is that's negative, the more you think on that, the more you feel that way, and the more it like embeds and becomes a reality.
yeah,
And so you have to catch yourself and pull yourself out of that and think, is this what I want to create? If it's not, how would I rather think? If I'm feeling sad and I would rather feel happy, what can I do to get happy? Well, what do I like to do? If they're a third grader, maybe jump rope or skip or, hit the tether ball or, what can bring joy and happiness into my life and go do that,
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's watching your thoughts to change your feelings and be the master of your own mind.
So let's go back to when you were that age in the third, fourth grade. What did you want to be when you grew up? What was your dream?
This is funny because I grew up in a house where mom was the boss, period.
Yeah.
So when I grew up, I wanted to be a police officer
Hmm.
so I could be the boss.
You know, that's what I wanted to do too, and it revolves around California. I was watching Chips as a kid, and I wanted to be
Oh
Lieutenant
yeah,
Kelly, you know.
the best.
And then I saw Cops on Fox as a teenager, and I was like, if that's what it really is, I'm good. I'm out.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't I don't know when I lost that passion. Maybe, like you said, maybe when the reality set in of what the actual job is. It's not just about being the boss of everything.
Yep.
It's kind of scary and dangerous and
Yeah.
all these other things.
It's a lot. Yeah. So take me back to where you were born and raised and how these seeds of leadership and helping people find and realize their true selves and dreams. How did all of this get planted into you and harvested and evolve into your career right now?
Yeah. So I would say that we're all born with gifts and talents. And one of mine is being a leader. I mean, I haven't tried to be a leader or learned to be a leader. I just always have been. From as young as I can remember, I was always in the front, always in charge, always voted, let Jenny run it or lead it. So naturally born with the leadership skill. So I'm grateful for that talent that I have. But what really got me into what I do today and helping others was my own struggles. In 2013, I broke my back in a hiking accident
Wow.
and I couldn't get better. I mean, no matter what I tried, I could not get better. I've got rods, screws, synthetic disc in my back. Like it didn't help.
Wow.
And after 3 years, the doctors told me, like, your case is hopeless. Like,
Wow.
sorry, lady, we're just going to keep giving you pain pills. I know that it doesn't solve the problem, kind of takes the edge off, hopefully. And I was like, you don't understand. Like, I have this go-getter personality. Before breaking my back, I had a real estate company in San Diego, and it was huge and successful. And I've got 4 kids, and I was running my church organization, women's organization. I was fundraising the community. Like, I'm a go-getter.
Yeah.
And now I can't function. Like, you can't tell me, sorry, lady.
Yeah. Right.
Not okay.
Right.
And so, thankfully, because of that personality, I was like, I will solve this.
Yeah.
I will find a way to get better. I don't care what it costs. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care where I have to go. I don't care if I have to do a rain dance. Like, give me a solution.
Yeah.
So I was looking, 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 and I found a medical doctor who said, well, you can heal yourself with your mind. what? My mind? How would I do that? Because I've been saying positive affirmations in the mirror for 20 years,
Mhm.
and those haven't really helped me change some of the things I was trying to change about myself. Like I used to have a terrible temper. I wanted to get rid of that. There were certain things that I wanted to be better at, and the affirmations weren't helping. I didn't understand how could I heal myself with my mind? I mean, this is my back. What does it have to do with my head?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't understand, but I was desperate and I said, help me, teach me, train me, whatever I have to do. I started working with this doctor. 6 sessions later, I'm completely healed.
Wow.
Like I could do back bends and handstands. I mean, healed. And I became obsessed with the power of my mind.
Yeah.
And I went back to him and I said, oh my gosh, like, thank you. I owe you my life. And can you help me stop taking pain pills? Can you help me like my husband again? Can you help me get rid of this bad temper? Can you help me lose weight? Can you help me find some passion in my life? I'm not like real estate was good, but I was mainly doing it because I was making a fortune at it and it was
Yeah.
providing this amazing lifestyle. But it wasn't like I woke up excited about it. I wasn't
Yeah.
like feeling like it was my purpose in life. It was just a great income producer. Of course I like helping people, I loved that. But again, it wasn't like I didn't feel like I was on the right path. And I didn't let myself look for that path because I was like, what else are you going to do that's going to be this successful? You can still work from home. This was before COVID when there weren't so many work from home options.
Yeah.
And I just kept doing something that wasn't right for me. So this doctor helped me transform everything. And after that happened, I thought, I can't keep this a secret.
Yeah.
And I can't go back to my old way of being because my old way of being was not only causing me chronic pain after breaking my back, but I had a history of chronic pain.
Yeah.
And I believe it was because of a lot of block trapped emotions and not dealing with things and just kind of brushing stuff under the rug and ignoring it and keeping going. I had a lot of tension in my body that was causing pain. I didn't understand the connection between my mind and body and all that. And I wanted my life to be better. And then when it got drastically better, I wanted to help other people.
Yeah.
So, and because I love to speak and be in front and be in charge and be on stage, I thought, perfect. Let
Yeah.
me share my message to help people stop their suffering because you don't have to suffer,
Yeah.
but you have to find a way out of it.
Yeah.
And that takes a little bit of time and work. And I love giving people a shortcut to that.
This is one of my paintings back here. I'm a visual artist too, and I always in this I moved, but in the community I was at before they'd have a citywide garage sale, and I always put my paintings out and people would donate, and it's good to get original artwork out there. And there was a guy that stopped me at one point, and he was talking about someone he knew that had cancer and was talking about the power of the mind, about how they literally got into a place where they just kind of rebuffed it. And it
Yeah.
was really fascinating. And it was kind of out of the blue, just kind of he came up and told me this story. And it was because he had a weeping willow. I had a weeping willow in my front yard. He did too. And he did this weird bob on it and made it look. So we just started talking and he tells me this story. And
Yeah.
and it is amazing. There's sometimes where you'll run into people and they'll tell you these stories of how the mind can get to a place where it can totally manifest a completely different course that just doesn't scientifically make sense,
Yeah.
but it worked. So
Right.
it's amazing what we can do.
Yeah, and when you say it doesn't scientifically make sense, it's interesting because if you study the science of it, there is actual science. I mean, if you look at the subconscious mind, it's a million times more powerful than the conscious mind.
Yeah,
And so the problem is most often we're trying to use the conscious mind to solve a subconscious problem. We're
yeah,
like, why isn't it working? Why isn't it changing? Why can't I lose weight? Why can't I stop smoking? Why can't I get rid of the bad temper. Why can't I change? Why can't I be more successful? Why can't I be happy? How come I used to love my spouse and now I'm not so sure?
yeah,
Like, how do you fix that with your conscious mind? You can't because it's a subconscious problem.
yeah,
And so, if you learn the science of belief and the biology of belief, there's a book called that. It's fascinating. Literally, you can change your cellular response. You can change your genes with your thought process through the subconscious mind. So I kind of nerd out on the science of it.
Yeah.
The process I created to repattern the brain, it's called summit transformation. I hired a neuroscientist to do brain studies on it, energy field studies on it, cellular studies on it, because I love being able to say, if you work with me, you're going to have a 57% improvement after working with me once.
Wow.
That's the average.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're working with the subconscious. It's that powerful.
Yeah.
If you go to my app and work on something, you'll have a 41% improvement using my app one time.
Wow.
That's the power of the subconscious mind.
Interesting. Who's
Yeah.
been a hero for you? Who's been an inspiration for you in your work?
Yeah, I love that. So Dr. Bruce Lipton, PhD,
Yep.
The Biology of Belief. Like I said, I love the science. I love understanding. Of course, Dr. Joe Dispenza, a lot of people know Dr. Joe, and his story, my story, kind of similar because, broken back and all that. And I love all the money that he's dumped into the science of this work and understanding the science. So those are two for sure. The doctor who helped me, Dr. Warren Jacobs, medical doctor. So remember, I have a medical doctor telling me I can heal myself with my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what does your MD stand for?
Yeah.
No, regular medical doctor changed my life. I
Wow.
mean, everything about my life. I look like the same old Jenny, minus I used to have long hair, but I feel nothing like her
Wow.
because now I know how to change my brain. That changes my cellular response. That changes how I see the world. So
Yeah.
sometimes you hear about like putting on rose-colored glasses. You can do that for yourself. And it's all about the science of the brain, that reticular activating system in your brain that sees what comes into your awareness based on your perception. Meaning, I get a new car, I see it everywhere. All of a sudden, how does
Yeah.
everyone have that same car?
Uh-huh.
Right? If you get your brain to believe people are kind to me, people appreciate me, I always succeed at things, whatever the belief you want, if you believe that, that's what your brain sees in the world. And
Yeah.
the world can be a beautiful place, or you can turn on the news and be like,
Yeah.
panic, anxiety, worry,
Uh,
fear,
Yeah.
all of that.
So what is the motivation for you every day to wake up to do this work? You're giving a lot of yourself to help people find their place and their
Yeah.
dreams, but
Yeah.
you also have to hold back and evolve as a human yourself. What does
Yeah.
that collective odometer for you look like?
Yeah. I feel like this life is to learn and improve and grow. And the better we are, the happier we are, the healthier we are, the bigger impact we can make with other people. There's someone I know that says, serve from your saucer, not from your cup. So like your cup overflows so much that your saucer is full and you're just like, here, I have more than I need, more than here, let me help you. And so for me, for so long in my life, I was in a negative space in my head. And they say fake it till you make it. I was faking it that I was fine emotionally, but I wasn't. And I know there's a lot of people out there faking it, and it's because they don't have a solution. They want to be happy. They want to be healthy. They want to be at peace. They want to get along with their spouse or partner. They just don't.
Yeah.
How do you fix it? And in this world, we try consciously to fix things. And the problem is we can only focus on a couple things at a time. So if you're dating someone and you're focused on them, you can speak in poetry.
Yeah.
But when you're not, you definitely don't,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So my motivation is to help people make their life better. I mean, life can be a joy or it can be a grind.
Yeah.
And so, which way do you want it to be? Of course, we all want it to be a joy, but are you willing to do the work? And the work is on the mind.
Yeah.
And the mind is like the body, it takes daily work.
Yep.
I exercise every day. I eat healthy every day. Why? Because I want to look good. I want to feel good.
Hmm.
But also from the inside, I work on my mind every day. I use my own app every day.
Yeah.
Why? Because I want to have the best mindset. I want to be open and curious and loving and forgiving and peaceful and all these things as my natural set point, so that if somebody says something to me, that I'm open and curious about it. Oh, I wonder why you said that. Not that was rude or how dare you or now I'm mad.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
really change your mindset to support you so you can be who you want to be. And that's exciting. And
Yeah.
I love sharing that message with people.
So, of all of the things, more specifically professionally, that you've done in your life, what are you the proudest of?
Raising four awesome kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I have to say I lucked out. I was definitely blessed with great kids, but four kids, no problems in this world. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Three of them are married. Like I mentioned, one's leaving to go do a church mission for a couple years, and they're awesome. So I'm most proud of that. I love being with them, even though they're spread all over the country. When we can connect, it's my favorite.
Sure. So let's kind of go back to youth here. If you have a dream tonight, run into the 18-year-old version of you. You can give that young version of you a piece of advice based on the life you've lived, the wisdom you've gained. What
Yeah.
advice would you impart on that young version of you?
Wow. You know, I wish I understood what I know now sooner.
Yeah.
There were so many decades of struggle, and I feel bad for that girl, you know. It was a rough life, and I went through it, and now I have compassion for people and where they're at. Um, Again, like I said in the beginning, I wish we didn't always have to learn things the hard way. I wish I didn't have to break my back on a mountainside and be incapacitated for 3 years to learn my lessons. But yeah, I would, maybe I'd just tell her, you're gonna find a solution and things are gonna get really good for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So hang in there, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know?
So everyone out there has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, everyone that you know, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Yeah, I love that. I'm a leader for sure. And I'm a Jesus lover, absolutely. And I love helping people in lots of different ways through service, but my main passion is to teach people how to get control of their thinking so they can change how they feel and change a print out of their life.
So, as a speaker, what's the best speech you've ever seen in person?
Mm. So I hired someone who I saw give the best speech ever. Her name's Jane M. Powers. I hired her as my speaking coach. This was in about maybe 2016 or 2017. She spoke, and we were just, I mean, you could have heard a pin drop. And when she was done, she offered something for like the first 10 people who come by my thing. Like there was a crowd rush to the stage, and we were literally like pushing each other to try
Yeah,
to get her our credit card.
yeah,
And I was like, whatever she has, I need some of that. So
yeah,
I hired her and worked with her for the next 18 months, and it was transformational. I used to be so scared to speak, which seems weird if you're like a leader and confident, but I wasn't actually confident. I was faking that I was confident. Inside, I was trembling.
yeah.
And so I needed to learn, number one, the skill of speaking,
Hmm.
but I also worked a lot on my mind to get rid of all those fears of a stage. And now, give me a microphone. I love it.
You're ready to
It's my
go.
favorite.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So,
Yeah.
speaking of perfect segue, if anyone wants to hire you, see you, learn more, delve into your world further, where do they go?
Yeah. My goal is to get people using my app. So if you go to the Google Store or the Apple Play Store, either one, download my app. It's called Leap, like a frog, Leap Transformation, and use the app every day, 15 minutes a day. It'll totally change your life. Absolutely. It'll repattern your brain. It'll change your cellular response. It'll help you be who you want to be. It's fun, it's gamified, it's neuroscience, it's AI. You can earn coins in it to see me weekly on group sessions and interact with me. So that's my ask. Get the app and use it, and you can change anything about your life with the power of your mind.
I just downloaded it. You probably can't see
Yay!
it. So I'm in. I'm in the club.
Awesome.
Jenny, this has been wonderful. I love your energy, your story, what you're doing. Thank you so much for your story and time today.
Thanks, Joe.
Best of luck. Take care. Send my love to San Diego.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm shipping my favorite boy to Kansas. So, yeah, so good.
He'll be taken care of very well. It's a good
Awesome.
place. Yeah.
I love it.
Take care.
Thanks.
See ya. Bye.